Good evening to whoever you are from wherever you're watching from. My name's Josh. Thank you for stopping by. Tonight we're sipping on the Dalmore 12-year-old. It's a Highland single malt Scotch whiskey and a beautiful one at that. So cheers. So before we jump in, I just want to say thank you to all who have subscribed and liked and commented. We're almost at 50 subscribers, which is amazing to me because I started this channel. I think the first video I put up like almost 4 years ago, and it was right before COVID hit. I think it was right at like the turn of the year. So maybe a month or two later, COVID hit. So I only had put out 2 videos before it all kind of went to shit. And you know, I graduated college later that year, and life happened, and so had a lot of priorities that had to get put in check and everything. And so but about a little over a month ago, I saw went back and looked at the channel and saw I had 18 subscribers and almost or over 1,000 views on one of my videos. And I was like, man, maybe I do have something to offer in this, especially how shitty those videos were back then, like quality wise. But anyway, so getting into this week, it was about, the mornings would be around 30, 35, 36 degrees, and it got to maybe 45. So not a huge difference. Pretty chilly for the most part. Wind was blowing, which is never fun when you're working outside. But I decided to go with Cape Heartache from Imaginary Authors. This is just a nice, lush green, like pine tree, pine cone with a vanilla sweetness and like this red strawberry gummy kind of vibe. Absolutely beautiful. I loved catching whiffs of this throughout the day, and I just love what Imaginary Authors does. If you're not into their scents, they sell these little short story deals, which is their sample kits. Go get one of those for like $30, $30, $40, and go check them out. I think you really enjoy them. So Monday was Cape Heartache. Tuesday is about the same in terms of temperature. So I decided to go with this little $15 pickup, being Mooj Intimate. Got this from Marshall's. This is obviously a clone of Interlude Man from Amouage. I had a sample of this at one point, and from what I remember, the sample smelling like, this is pretty much right on. Just a smoky, ashy incense with this underlying sweetness that kind of brings it all together. It wore really well, especially once the smokiness kind of resided, and that was left with that nice, almost kind of burnt sugar sweetness. And so, yeah, I really enjoyed that one. It lasted a long time too, probably 10, 11 hours. Then it kind of resided to a skin scent, but for $15, I can't complain at all for that. So, on to Wednesday, I decided to actually layer a couple fragrances. That's one of the ways that I, try to make use of the amount of bottles that I have, because I do have a lot. And it's also another way to smell even more unique. I mean, if you have, over 10 bottles of cologne, especially over 20, you're most likely going to smell unique. You're not going to smell like a ton of people around you, because most guys have been rocking the same cologne for years. They get the same bottle for Christmas every year or whatever. But if you really want to go that extra step and smell unique, start layering your fragrances. And so I decided to go with both from Lattafa, but Amir Al Oud, Intense Oud, and then Body Al Oud, Oud for Glory. So this is a by the fireplace type scent. I wouldn't call it a direct clone. I mean, some people will, but for me it does its own thing, and I actually enjoy this one better. It lasts a long freaking time. I mean, this is a 15, 16 hour fragrance. I mean, I'll just say this, it will last until you wash it off, until you take your shower later on in the day. So that with Body Al Oud, which is also very strong. I wouldn't say it lasts as long as Amir Al Oud, but I will say that in that wearing that I had on Wednesday, I feel like I got this more than Oud for Glory. I feel like this one kind of took center stage and kind of masked Oud for Glory. So that was Wednesday. Thursday, I decided to bring out an old gem. It always reminds me of Colorado when I wear this because I wore it on a spring break trip out there 4 years ago. This is from 1821 Man-Made. This is Sweet Tobacco. So this was a hype beast like no other back when it came out. And it was so unique because this was actually from a men's hair care company. And I actually have their wax, their hair wax that I use on my mustache when I feel like it. And the story was that their customers loved the scent of their products so much that they asked them to make a clone out of it, and they did, and they made this, and they did not cheap out at all. This shit lasts a long time. It is strong, it is potent, it is almost sickly sweet tobacco honey vibe. I mean, just think of like, you know, a pure Havana type deal, but just like, I mean, just soaked in like that sticky honey. Yeah, I've never smelled Naxos, but people talk about that being a really sweet honey tobacco. I don't know if it smells anything like this, then I'm sure it's a great fragrance because this is magnificent. And I bought this bottle years ago, and I still have almost 50 milliliters of it left, and I have not used 50 milliliters of this. The problem with these bottles when they first came out is they leaked like hell. Matter of fact, when I first got this in, it was leaking when I first got it, and I emailed them and actually sent me another full bottle, so kudos to them. But yeah, so 1821 Man-Made Sweet Tobacco. On to Friday, it actually kind of warmed up a little bit. Weather in Tennessee is weird. It can be really cold one day and really not the next. I mean, it warmed up enough that we had tornadoes come through yesterday, which, to my knowledge, caused some devastation over in Middle Tennessee. So be thinking about them. But it warmed up, and I had drove up to Nashville to write some songs. And so I wanted to wear something that wasn't going to be too abrasive inside of a small confined space like a writing room. And so I went with, from the House of Imaginary Authors as well, Telegramma. So Telegramma is just this just slightly powdery pepper, fresh linen dryer sheet kind of vibe. A little sweet. So it's got notes of talc, which is that powder, lavender absolute, black pepper, teak, ambergris, vanilla powder, and then a note of fresh linens. And it does have that vibe. It does have this out of the dryer, vanilla, sweet, slightly powdery. Like I said before, if you watched my collection video, if I had a signature scent from the House of Imaginary Authors, it would be Telegramma. So that was my Friday. Saturday, I didn't wear anything like the whole day through. You know, we were sitting at home for the most part. My wife was sick, so I was kind of here just taking care of her. And so that generally means I'm going to be spraying a bunch of different stuff on, you know, different spots on my arms, you know, have 6 or 7 fragrances on at one time just to compare and contrast because I enjoy it. But today, you know, we went out and grocery shopped and all that sort of stuff. And so today, on Sunday, I decided to go with the classic Davidoff Cool Water. Now this is, like I said, classic. Beautiful aquatic, lemon verbena. If you've never smelled Cool Water, stop watching this video and go buy Cool Water. Yeah, it's great. I used to own Green Irish Tweed, and I will get that bottle again because I really enjoyed that. But this has a very similar vibe to that. And, you know, for right now, it does the job. It's a little harsh up top. I'm not going to say harsh. It's just not as smooth and as natural as Green Irish Tweed. It's a little more synthetic, I'll say that. But once it dries down, it's I mean, it's hard to beat, man. I see why this was such a powerhouse for so long. Why still so many people have it as their signature scent. So yeah, that was my weekly rotation this past week. Once again, thank you to all who have subscribed. If you do like what you see, most of my videos are going to be pretty much like this. Just really chill, no editing, no bullshit for the most part. I'd sit here, sip my whiskey, and tell you about fragrances. And so, yeah, thank you guys so much. Y'all have a great night.